The dog who kept an old man alive after everyone left dogs as emotional support for old people. When Mr. Elijah retired at 69, people congratulated him. They said, "Now you can finally rest." But rest was not what he found. What he found was silence. The kind of silence that presses against your ears at night. The kind that makes a house feel too big and your thoughts too loud. His wife had died 3 years earlier. His children lived far away, busy with lives that no longer included daily calls. At first, neighbors checked in. Then weekly visits became monthly greetings. Eventually, even those faded. Days blended into each other. Mr. Elijah began waking up late. Sometimes, he didn't bother to cook. He ate bread, drank tea, and went back to bed. He stopped opening his curtains. He stopped shaving. He stopped caring whether the radio was on or off. Loneliness doesn't arrive suddenly. It settles in slowly, until it feels normal. One evening, as Mr. Elijah sat on his front steps, he noticed a thin, gray-muzzled dog standing across the road. The dog didn't bark. He didn't wag his tail. He just stood there, watching. Mr. Elijah waved weakly. The dog didn't move. The next day, the dog was there again. On the third day, the dog crossed the road and sat a few steps away, careful not to invade the old man's space. Something about that patience broke through Mr. Elijah's numbness. He whispered, "You're old too, aren't you?" The dog's tail thumped once. That was how it began. Mr. Elijah started leaving food outside. The dog ate slowly, gratefully. Eventually, the dog followed him inside but stayed near the door, as if afraid of being sent away. Mr. Elijah named him Samson. What Mr. Elijah didn't realize at first was that Samson was changing his life in ways medicine never could. Every morning, Samson woke him up, not by barking, but by placing his head gently on the bed. That simple action forced Mr. Elijah to wake, to stretch, to acknowledge the day. Samson needed walks. So Mr. Elijah walked, slowly at first, painfully, but consistently. Those walks brought sunlight back into his eyes and movement back into his joints. Neighbors began greeting him again, not because of him, but because of the dog. Conversations returned, routine returned, most importantly, purpose returned. At night, when memories of his wife overwhelmed him, Samson noticed the dog would climb beside him on the couch and rest his head on Mr. Elijah's chest, synchronizing his breathing with the old man's shallow breaths. This is not imagination. Studies show dogs can detect emotional distress through scent, heart rate, and body language. Their presence lowers cortisol levels and reduces anxiety, especially in elderly individuals living alone. Samson was not just companionship, he was emotional regulation. One night, Mr. Elijah experienced chest pain. Panic set in. His phone slipped from his hands. He sat on the floor, dizzy and afraid. Samson barked loudly, continuously, something he had never done before. A neighbor heard and came running. Mr. Elijah survived. Later at the hospital, a doctor asked, "Do you live alone?" Mr. Elijah looked at Samson and said, "Not anymore." From that day on, Mr. Elijah took better care of himself, not out of fear of death, but out of responsibility to the life depending on him. When people say dogs are emotional support animals, this is what they mean. Not distraction, not entertainment, but connection, routine, presence, and a reason to keep going. Samson didn't cure aging. He didn't erase grief, but he transformed loneliness into companionship, and that made all the difference.